Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Club. Our guest today is Jeff Bilington. He's with the Fort Worth Scottish Rite, and we're proud to have him here today, and we thank you for coming out.
Absolutely.
He's doing this as a favor to Kirby, because he told Kirby that he was going to do it, and so this is kind of his promise kept.
Exactly.
But anyways, appreciate you being here today, and we'll let you say your spiel.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? As he said, I'm doing this as a favor to Kirby. Kirby asked me to do this when I took over the Scottish Rite as his general secretary back in August of 23. He called me in September of 23 and said, I need you to come out here and do our coffee club and tell us what you do. I says, I don't even know what I do. So he said, well, just think about it for a while and then get back with me. And I forgot all about it, and then one day I remembered it and I wrote something up, and so I called Kirby, or tried to call Kirby, and that's when he started deteriorating a little bit, and I never did get a hold of him. And, really felt bad about that, so that's why I'm here. I'm keeping my promise to Kirby, because he's always done everything for me that I always asked him to do, so I made sure I want to keep a promise to Kirby, come back out here. But as I said, I'm the General Secretary of the Fort Worth Scottish Rite. Been there since August of 23. He just wanted me to tell you basically what my job is there. My responsibility is basically just to run the Scottish Rite, Fort Worth Scottish Rite. I do just about everything there, I guess. I set up the meetings, the stated meetings. I set up the room upstairs. I get the people that are going to come and talk. Get the speakers in, set that all up, set the room up. Well, I take that back. My wife sets the room up for me. She decorates for me, gets the room, sets all the tablecloths and stuff like that for me, and then but each month we'll have, when we have our stated meetings, one of my responsibilities is keeping the minutes. So we have the finance meeting at 4 o'clock. We have the executive meeting at 5 o'clock. We have the stated meeting at 6 o'clock, and then we have the program at 7 o'clock. So I keep the minutes, of course, on all 4 of those meetings, if you will, which I don't really care to do that. That's a lot of work, to be honest with you. I didn't realize it was that much work until I started doing it. We have 2 reunions a year. We just had, or finished it up last weekend, Saturday. We had it for 3 weeks in a row, 3 Saturdays in a row. And we'll hold it. The reunion is just to get new membership into the Scottish Rite. We brought in, I think there was 17 of them this time around. We brought in 17 new members, which is, we'd like to have more, but 17's not bad. Usually we'll start at like 7:30 in the morning. We end up, whenever it's over, at 7 o'clock, or not 7, 5 o'clock at night is usually when we're over and we can go home. We put on all the 29 Scottish Rite degrees at that time. We'll usually do 5 or 6 a day. Well, more than that, about 7 or 8 a day until we get done with all 3 of them, all 29 throughout the 3 days. And I used to work on the stage crew when I first started with the Scottish Rite. Back in, I think it was 2006, I believe, is when I came into the Scottish Rite. I worked on the stage crew for many, many years, just enjoying it, just sitting back and doing the stage crew. Nobody knew I was there, I was behind everything, or nobody knew I was there, so I really enjoyed that part of it. And then this job came open back in 23, and my dad called and says, hey, you need to take this job. And I said, I don't know anything about the Scottish. We know everything about the Scottish Rite. I said, I don't know nothing about the Scottish Rite. And it was a true statement. I didn't know nothing about the Scottish Rite. Even though I was a member and was involved quite a bit, I really didn't know nothing about it. Most of you might, or some of you might know my father, Claire Bilington. Most people know him more than me, of course, because he's been around a whole lot longer than I have. But and he called me this morning and asked me what I was doing. I told him I was headed out here, and he wished he would have came out here because he didn't know I was speaking. He wanted to come out here and listen to me also, which I'm glad he didn't come. But anyway, also one of the things that we do there is we have the Robert Burns dinner, which is for our KOSA, the Knights of St. Andrew, which are only for our black hats. They put on the Robert Burns dinner each year. It's a fundraising thing for the KOSA. Last year they gave the money to the Cook Legacy Society, which is to help the Fort Worth Scottish Rite for their housing funds anytime we get in need of housing. And nowadays it's getting a little expensive over at the temple. I think it's costing us this year like $55 a member to be in the building, so it's getting a little bit more expensive there. In February we usually have a festive board, which is just like a little get-together for the guys, basically just to talk about each other, have a good time, just be guys kind of thing, And usually we'll have a good distinguished speaker, Masonic speaker that's usually there also. But usually it's just something to get together. Yeah, we have a few drinks, yes, but it's not anything bad. We just have a couple of drinks and we just have a good time. Just a guy thing. Most of you guys know what I'm talking about. Just a guy thing, just having a good time. In May, we usually have the first responders breakfast. We were doing that for quite some time, and then it got shut down for a while. And when I took over, we started it back up. I always felt that we should, respect the first responders. They do a great job, and I always thought that we should always recognize them. And I was really disappointed when we let that go for a while, so I brought it back again back in '23, and we've been doing it the last 2 years, and it's really been a nice thing. We've really enjoyed that. We weren't getting too many to start with because, as you start something back up again, a lot of people don't know about it. They'll get a little bit more and more each year. So we started taking the dinner or the breakfast we were taking it to the call centers themselves because those people couldn't get out. So we would take them to the call centers. We took about 32 of them, I think, this year to the call centers for all those people down there. So, and they were very appreciative of that. They really were. And then we also do what they call it the Americanism, which is for JR to OTC and ROTC. We give awards, little medals, and certificates to the JROTC and the ROTC students that are in high school. And what they were having, what Dallas will do is they'll have them all come to Dallas and they give them all out at one time. What we do instead in Fort Worth is we go to the schools. Whenever they want us there, we come to the schools and we present the awards to them at the schools. And they seem to like that a lot more because they're in front of all their peers and stuff like that, so they really enjoy that. I think last year we gave out 52 awards, I think is what we gave out last year. And then also in June we have the Grand Annual Banquet, which that's one thing that I really enjoy. It's our, I guess you could say it's where we recognize all the kids. We give out all the scholarships. We give the money to the hospital. We give the money to the TCU for their what they call it, for the LEAPS program. We started that about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. We've been doing that for that long, and we help all the young kids. During the summertime, they go to the Camp Leaps program, and they really enjoy that. This year, through the Grand Annual Banquet, we gave away $93,500 in scholarships this year. We gave $50,000 to the Scottish Rite Hospital for Children, and we gave $15,000 to the TCU Fort Worth Scottish Rite Language and Literacy Camp, which is held at TCU. July was when we have our indoor picnic. I don't know if any of you all have been to the indoor picnic for the Scottish Rite, but if you haven't, you ought to come on down. It's every July we have it. You have a good time. We use free hamburgers, hot dogs. We have raffles. We have things that you can silent auction, if you will. It's just tickets. It's not actually writing down numbers or anything. It's just tickets. But they have a lot of things that we give away each year, and it seems to be, I seem to enjoy that. And we have the motorcycle fun run also that we have that day, and I do that. I'm a motorcycle rider, so each year I get with them and I go out and we ride to 3 different Masonic lodges, and they will stamp your little card, and then we come back. We call it a fun run, but it's actually like a poker run, but you can't legally call it a poker run. So, but it is poker run is basically what it is. But we have a good time with that. This last year we went to, where did we go this past year? Went to Santo. We went to, I can't remember the 3 that we went to. I can't remember where they were. I'm sorry, I can't remember, but it was about a 150-mile trip is what it was. It was a really nice trip. We enjoyed it. Every 2 years in September, we recognize members of the Honors Banquet, which are going to be happening. We did it over in Dallas, September 13th, where everybody, the new red hats and the white hats were honored with those new caps. And then we honor them again here in Fort Worth. We have an Honors Banquet where we give them their jewels and a dinner and honor them in front of their peers here in Fort Worth. And that's going to be next Saturday, actually. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday we'll have that at Fort Worth Club. This year we're going to have 2 white hats. Well, we actually had 3 white hats. One of them was our chairman, Jim Rogerson. I don't know if any of you know him, but he just passed away about 3 weeks ago. So we have 2 other white hats that are going to be recognized at this dinner, and we'll have 4 red hats that are going to be recognized at the dinner. And that's usually for their outstanding work they've done throughout the years with the Scottish Rite, and they're recognized like that. And the 3 or the 6 that we have this year are very well-deserved people. They really are. In November, we recognize members like this gentleman over here for 50 years being a Scottish Rite member. Each year when they become 50-year members, we'll contact them, we'll get their hat size, we'll order them a brand new Scottish Rite blue 50-year hat, and then we'll have a dinner at our November stated meeting, which this year I think it's November 20th. We'll invite them all in, and we'll present them their caps. If they're not able to make the meeting, we will make sure that they get the hat, whether we deliver it to their house, or if they live out of state, we'll mail it to their house. But we always like to present it in person. I think it's more personable to do it in person than it is just to mail it to somebody. So I hope you can make it over there in November, I really do, but if you can't, we will get it to you. I will probably be the one delivering it to you if you can't make it, but we'll get that hat to you.
I'll buy lunch.
I'm sorry?
I'll buy lunch. Come over here.
Okay. And that's the one thing, when we invite you over, of course your dinner is free, our program is free. Mainly the program is the 50-year members. Our veterans are recognized that day. And this year I'm trying, if I can at all possible pull it off, I'm going to also invite the widows over, the Scottish Rite widows over if I can. I'm trying to get that worked out, but it's with only just me doing it, it's kind of hard to get it all worked out, but if at all possible, I'm going to invite the Scottish Rite widows over there this year also and recognize them. And that's really about all I have here. Does anybody have any questions for me at all? Yes, sir.
The monies that you raised for the hospital in Dallas,
Yes, sir.
if some of those gentlemen are interested, actually the families, husbands, wives, if they want to come over there and do a tour and see what their money's really going to, I guarantee it'll put a smile on their hearts.
Yes, sir. I've been wanting to go over there myself. I feel bad because I'm a Scottish Rite member and have been for over 20 years, and I've never been to the hospital. Never.
Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, they used to have it where they would take buses over there
Yeah.
during our reunions and take the ladies over there.
Yeah.
But I was always working the reunions, so I could never go. And me and my wife were going to go over there because she'd never been either. And we were thinking about going over there on a Saturday, but they said, don't come over on a Saturday because none of the kids are here usually because they like to have all them all go home. Which makes sense.
Yeah, we have an inpatient floor on the 3rd floor. Generally has between 20 and 30 kids all the time.
Oh, okay.
So they're there, but the 3rd patient floor is no longer part of the tour group.
Gotcha.
So they're not going to appointments, they're not coming down for lunch, so you don't see them as much as you would Monday through Friday.
Right.
But feel free, I'll get you my information. I can be your contact for doing a tour, setting it up, and I'll be glad to take anybody on a tour down there. And of course, there's other tour guides. If we get above 12 people, we usually get a second tour guide. The elevator holds about 12, so we can do more than one group. But I'll get you my information, and I guarantee you, it'll be a joyous adventure.
I would love to do that. I would like to get your information, and I appreciate that, because that's one thing we've talked about that over there, maybe about renting a bus and seeing who all wants to come over there on the Scottish Rite, like on a Monday through a Friday kind of thing. So, yes, I will take your information, because we are trying to get that set up right now.
Thanks, sir.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
How's membership doing with the Scottish Rite? You guys see it evening out or decreasing? I mean, is it like masonry where we're kind of aging out, or?
It's dwindling as we go. It's slowly dwindling, but it is dwindling. I think that's with all Masonic bodies, really, that's happening right now. I think when I started out, we had like 1,640 members or something like that when I first started. We're down to 1,400 and something. Now, part of that is because last year I was just going through our membership, just pulled up some data, and I found a gentleman that was 116 years old in there, and I just thought to myself, chances are he's probably not alive.
Was he still paying dues?
No, he was a lifetime member, so he wasn't paying dues, and so I looked him up, and he had passed. And so I pulled up a bunch of others, people, and I found more had passed. So I just looked up the whole, everybody. And when I did that, unfortunately, I found over 80 people that had passed away. So that's what dropped our numbers immediately, was almost 80 people, was because of that. But we're trying to keep that up now where that doesn't happen anymore. So.
And what feeds the membership to you guys? I mean, is it just lodges that the lodges kind of, they want to come up to the Scottish Rite, or what feeds your membership?
It is the Blue Lodges that feeds the membership. You have to, of course, be a Scottish or a Mason to become a Blue Lodge Mason to become a Scottish Rite Mason.
No.
So that's where we get all of our people, is from our Blue Lodges. Usually, all of our, not all of it, our membership will work on each one of their lodges trying to get people in. This time around, we had like 4 of them that came from the Keller Lodge. A couple of them came from the Smithfield Lodge, so, and we had a couple that came from De Leon out there. So, it is our members that bring them in from their lodges, yes.
And being the Fort Worth Scottish Rite, I mean, you're basically kind of the Tarrant County, this part of the Metroplex, or?
Well, the Fort Worth Scottish Rite actually goes down to, was it down in the Burleson area, Cleburne area, and we stretch all the way west to Abilene, and we go as far as north as Wichita Falls is our area.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, we don't go anywhere east because that's Dallas.
Yeah.
We only go to Arlington and stop. We have a big area, but we don't really go to Abilene at all, because that's really far out there. We found that they really don't come, so we don't really go to Abilene. Waco has taken over Abilene. They're not getting very much success out there either, though. It's just too far out for everybody.
That's what I was going to point out to you. I know 2 guys. I'm from Clyde Lodge, which is right outside of Abilene.
Yes, sir.
We have 2 new members who come through, got their degrees and become Master Masons. They were recruited into the Waco Valley.
Yeah. Whenever they allowed Abilene to go away from Fort Worth, I wasn't somebody that wanted to do that, but it's already been done, and so there's really nothing I can do about that now. We already gave it up. It's kind of hard to take it back now, so yeah, it's pretty much gone.
Do you ever have any request to do something for a funeral?
Yes. We have a Scottish Rite funeral team, and while I've been in office, we've had several calls, and I just contact the funeral team and ask them if they can do it. If it's in their schedule where they can do it, they will do it. Yes, we're very happy to do that. And we also have a Scottish Rite Master Mason degree team. So if a lodge is not able to put it on, some lodges just don't have the membership to put it on, and we'll go out there and we'll put it on for them also. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Anything else?
How old, how far back does the Fort Worth Scottish Rite go? I mean, if you go back to...
Our membership used to be in Dallas, and then they got the Fort Worth Valley, was actually moved to the Fort Worth Valley was actually created in 1974.
Oh, okay.
Our building was built in 1932. We had people that were coming, it was like a Fort Worth Scottish Rite club in a way, until we actually got our valley given to us and by Supreme, but that was in 1974. Yeah. And if you were in 1974, 1973, 74, and 75, they always feel like they are the originals in Fort Worth, and they really are. They're originals. So, like this gentleman here, he's 75, so so yeah. And we're recognizing these guys this year in 1975. We're recognizing. We usually have. It's really. I didn't really think there would be that many 50-year members. I figured maybe 10, 15 of them we'd really have at the most. But going through it, we have quite a few 50-year members each year. This year, I think we have like 35 of y'all, something like that. I can't get in contact with all of them. They haven't contacted me back. I wrote a letter to all of them, but I haven't got a response back from all of them. But who we do get in response with, we absolutely try and get them in. We absolutely do that. We enjoy it. I know I keep going to him, but we really enjoy the 50-year members coming in. We really do. Last year, when we did the 50-year members, we had a guy that was up by the Denton area somewhere. I can't remember where exactly it was. When I called him up, he just said he didn't know his hat size, and he didn't have the time to come down and get fitted for one or anything like that. So, like I said, I'm a motorcycle riding guy, so it gave me an excuse to go ride my motorcycle. So I threw about 5 or 6 hats in the back of my motorcycle and rode up to his house and let him try him on and gave him his size. And him and his wife came in last year to receive the hat. And it's kind of funny because he walked up to me. I was there with my chairman presenting the hats, and he walks up there to me after we presented it, and he goes, there's a guy that came up there and to come up and size my hat. He says, I can't remember his name. He says, do you have any idea who that guy was? I said, that would be me. He said, well, you look a lot different. I said, yeah. I said, putting on a suit rather than the motorcycle stuff, I do look a little bit different.
Are you guys at the temple downtown, or where?
Yes, sir. We are at the temple.
Okay.
And we have the temple. Pretty much all the bodies are down there at the temple. We have the Fort Worth Scottish Rite. We have the shrine down there. We have 6 or 7 different lodges down there. The Grotto meets down there. York Rite meets there. Commandery meets there. Everybody meets there pretty much. Yeah. Eastern Star, all of them.
So all month long, there's something going on.
Yeah, pretty much something's going on pretty much every day down there. And it's a beautiful building for anybody that's never been down there. It's a beautiful building. It really is.
We still do the leasing it out for weddings and banquets and
Yes.
a fundraiser.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to bring in some money at least.
It really is, and usually, of course, that's only on weekends whenever we can do that, most of the time. That's good. That's when people want to be married and stuff like that's on weekends. But so the only time we can rent it is whenever the bodies are not using the facility. So, a lot of times we can't rent it because one of us who has the building, is using it. So we have to be very leery of that whenever we do stuff. We have to make sure that we're actually using the building when we're holding that space, so we can make money.
You know, and not only the money-making part of it, the other stuff you're doing, the outreach to the community, bringing them in to see. I mean, you don't see places like that anymore, obviously.
No.
I mean, most of us have been down there or seen pictures and all, with, they just don't make places like that.
No, they
You
really
can rent a hotel, big ballroom or something, but you get a lot of folding walls and,
Right.
you don't get that opulence and integrity and working with craftsmanship.
I mean, down there, a lot of the times, they like renting the building. They'll rent it two rooms. They'll rent the upstairs on the 4th floor, what we call the asylum, the commandery room. I don't know if you've all been there, but that's the best looking room in the building. It really is. They'll rent that for the wedding, and then they'll rent the ballroom for the reception. And that happens all the time. In fact, when my daughter got married years ago, she came down there and she wanted to rent out the ballroom. She loved the ballroom. She wanted to rent it out. And she called down there to rent it out, and they told her what the rent was. And she come up, she said, I don't know if I can afford that kind of thing. And I says, well, did you tell them that I'm a member? You're a member. She didn't know I was a member. And so she called back and says, my father's a member down there. I was her stepfather, by the way. And so she called him back and told him that. And of course, she got a huge discount. Yes, sir.
You also have Redboro and Dimmerley.
Yes, we do. In fact, DeMolay just came down and put on their degree at our reunion last weekend. And they did a great job, as they always do. Love having those kids there. They're just so into it. They really are. They do a fantastic job. And the Rainbow Girls, they cook for us every morning when we have our reunion. They used to do it on the first and the last day, and when I took over, I called them up to do that again. And I just asked them, I says, can I ask you, why don't you do it the middle week? You only do it on the first and the last. Why not the middle? They said, well, you guys thought you didn't want us. I said, well, I'm going to change that. I said, I want y'all. Because the middle week of what we have is donuts and kolaches. I didn't want that. I don't eat donuts. So. And also, it makes money for the Rainbow Girls, which is a good thing. And we love having the girls there, too. They do a great job. Anybody else?
Just one more comment. I know
Sure.
the numbers are dwindling, throughout Masonry, throughout our churches. But you stepping up, doing what you do, the opportunities that become available. When those questions come up about asking about something, well, that's the way it's always been done. Well, we're still staying on the forefront. We're still standing up, moving forward, and you're sharing that light with us, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sir.
And hopefully we can keep this all going. We need to.
Did good.
It's a good thing.
Our society needs it.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
Well, if no other questions, we really appreciate Jeff coming out today.
That's it. Thank you all. Appreciate it.